Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
How's everyone in the chat doing?
Yo, can you guys hear me like properly? I'm using a different mic.
Yes. How are you doing, Armash?
Can you hear
How
me?
are you doing, Didy?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Nice.
How's your guys' weekend? A lot done?
Yeah, I've just been filming a lot of content.
Hell yeah. What about trading? Has anyone taken a trade today?
Yeah, I took a trade on German 40 in London session.
Okay.
It kind of just hit break even, so that's about it.
Okay.
Just
I
been
haven't really
consolidating.
traded.
What about you?
So
Yeah. What do you guys trade mainly?
gold.
Yeah.
I trade.
For you, is it DAX mainly?
Yeah. DAX, mainly DAX. Bit of NASDAQ, bit of gold, but mainly DAX. How about yourself?
I mainly trade FX in futures, but mainly when it's FX, it's EU, GU. When it's futures, is NASDAQ mainly. NASDAQ, S&P 500.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone told me this morning there was some Ukraine news. Do you guys know what it was? Because the market dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Like on gold, we went up, but that was on Sunday. Was there any news? Do you guys know?
I'm not aware of any. I don't really look at the news much.
Okay. Do you guys trade only technicals?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much just only
Only
technical.
Okay. Does anyone in the chat has anyone entered in any trades in the chat? Win, loss, break even. We'll do some analysis very, very soon. So yeah, I do know fine. But yeah. Anyone profit in Umar? Yeah, I saw Umar Punjabi's stream. That was very, very nice. And I saw Kyle too. You guys have been trading has been cooking. Just profitable trades left, right, and center. Some people are short. Okay. Okay, buys for gold. We'll do analysis very, very soon. Waiting for the market to open. Not yet. Profit on EU, $2,000. God damn. Lost 2 trades in the morning. What did you trade, Peaches? I'm long on EU, gold, loss. Sells in DAX. Did you take sells on
Me,
DAX?
yes. Yeah. I took sales.
Short on gold, long on gold. A lot of you trade gold here.
Yeah, it's always going to be the majority trading gold.
Yeah. That is wild. I'm not the biggest fan of gold. It's just so volatile, and then most of the time it doesn't do anything and then just moves. So
yeah, I mean that's why most people are unprofitable. They trade gold.
What is your experience, Astute?
Yeah,
Me?
I've been trading
I'll go
gold
for it.
for the past, I think, 1 year now. I started trading with EU first, but I went into trading gold for a year now, and it has been pretty nice. I think August been one of the worst month trading gold because it has been ranging the whole time. But
Yeah.
apart from that, the remainder of the month is pretty okay if you know how to trade.
Yeah, I was talking with Kyle because he was on stream on Friday, and everyone was asking him to break down gold, and he was like, "What do you want me to break down? It's like literally in a daily range. Like, why would I break this down?" And for me, it was the same when I checked.
It's
like
not just
you,
the fact that it's ranging on the daily, but I feel even if you go to the monthly, that thing has been given like doji monthly. That's like four
yeah,
doji monthly on a row, which is pretty insane. So
yeah.
I get it.
What time frame do you trade on gold?
I do top-down analysis probably from the monthly all the way down, but I mainly trade 15-minute structure with some maybe 1 minute confirmation entry,
Yeah.
and day on day basis probably each for as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What about what time frame do you trade on DAX?
I trade all of them, so from daily all the way down to the 1 minute. But usually I use like usually like the 15 to 30 minute time frame most of the time for like my higher end time frame entry zones. And then once price taps into it, I just drop to the 1 minute for my entries.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys want to break some charts down? Maybe let's start off with gold. Because everyone wants gold. Maybe let's do it.
Sure. Should I break down gold? Okay. Let me see. You can share. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. So basically, I've been waiting for a buy from this sort of H4 breaker block since last week, and price did tap. It gave some sort of buy, but again, price been ranging there for a while. And from yesterday, or at least Friday close, I was expecting some sort of liquidity manipulation to the downside, which price did give. Right, we have some sort of trendline liquidity here. Price drop, it cleared it out, and then is now giving a push to the upside. But I did miss this buy because it happened around like midnight my time, so I would probably be sleeping by that time. So what I'm expecting is I'm expecting a move to the upside still. I want price to like keep going higher. Probably for a target, I could have this high as the first target, and second target probably this one. But price can just keep going bullish if it doesn't turn bullish, right? So if you look at the H4, we can clearly see that the H4 went from being bullish and then it has turned bearish. And then we have the bearish structure clearly here being formed. So from here, we could have had like a pullback here for a sell to the downside as well. So what I'm expecting here is we have some, I think, H1 PY down here. So we have two scenarios. If price wants to go bullish, we can have a sell somewhere here for a buy to the upside to probably this zone. Or if it's the sell scenario that should happen, then I'm expecting some maybe small push to the upside to take out this high before we can have a sell to the downside as well. But we can see that we had a lot of sell. We have a massive buy at Asia session. Right? If I bring back this, we have this massive buy at Asia. And sometimes something I've understood about gold is when it moves at one session a lot, the remaining session mostly just ranges. As you can see, London here didn't do anything much, and New York just started. So if London has to move, probably this could have been the best thing I want to see. But if it has to just follow the structure, as I said, that if he moves previous session, then it doesn't move again, that probably by tomorrow, that's when we can have a really good move. But I'm expecting more the buy than the sell scenario. So I want price to actually buy, but I want some sort of manipulation to the downside. The same way we have a manipulation here for a buy, I also want to have another manipulation here for a buy as well. But this is pretty much what I'm waiting to see on gold. I don't know what you guys view are.
I love it. That's literally how I would see it as well. That's perfect. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it's point of liquidity to point of liquidity. Like that's the way to go.
This is pretty much the H1 level I was talking about. So
Yeah.
if she does something down, that could be cool. But again, on top, we mostly have liquidity. If price would just sell massively, wouldn't really make a lot of sense because all of this liquidity being built, I think we can even have some sort of a trend line up here, I guess, that price is creating. But probably we are going to clear everything out. So yeah.
Okay.
And as I only trade gold, when I don't have a setup, I just chill and wait for it. So
yeah.
I'm not really in a hurry to get the setup. That's pretty much what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I was talking about this in the last stream, which is literally 99% of trading is waiting. And so
Yes.
when people are like, "Oh, how can I trade gold now?" It's like, well, if you wait, you're technically trading, because if you don't lose money, you're not losing money. Like, everyone just wants to trade now, take multiple trades per day. Well, you're missing the point. I don't know if you guys agree.
No, I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember someone reached out to me asking me like, what time does the market open? I was like, yo, the market is about to open and you are already ready to take a setup. I mean, that's insane. So when the market open, like give it time to maybe create new structure for it to trade. But there's nothing to hurry about, right? If you take, let's say, 2 to 3 setup a week, and if you're able to make money, is enough, or even better than someone that, let's say, trade literally every single day and just end up losing money. So few trades, waiting for the best setup is always the way to go.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to break down DAX, and then we'll break down EU and Q.
Sure, yeah, I can do that. No problem.
Let me stop sharing. So
All right. Let's see. So initially, I wanted to take the sales on DAX in the morning in London session, but the issue was that we didn't really have anywhere to enter off. I think the one zone that I had marked out was, yeah, that was it. It was this zone right here. Was it here? 1 second. 15-minute. No, it was 5-minute. No. Okay. No, I don't. My bad. This was it. This was it. Right there. So that was the entry on German 40 for London Open. So basically, the ideal entry would have been up here, but the issue was to the left, there was nothing. If you looked even on the 1 minute time frame, there's no inefficiency. When I say inefficiency, I mean fair value gap. So there's no fair value gap, there's no order block, there's nothing. It was just a big wick. So as price came up into it, this area here, obviously there's nothing to enter off. And once price started moving down, we had a small retracement over here, which we came into this fair value gap right here, which we could have taken, but ideally I wanted it to come into a premium first. So I couldn't really take this entry. Price started moving down further, giving no entry. And then we finally made some sort of structure here. And this was before London Open, which was very crucial for me. So we pushed up and then pushed down, breaking this low over here. So now we have a break of structure to the downside right before London Open, which is key. And then we can see on London Open straight away, we have this 3-minute fair value gap right here within this structure. And that was sitting at a premium. So if we mark out our high and our low, above the 50% is the premium. So we did retrace into a premium area into this 3-minute fair value gap right at London Open, and that was the sell. I didn't catch that because I think I was just a bit too slow. I didn't really see that 3-minute in time, but that was the entry basically I wanted to take, and I missed. The second entry that I sent to my group was this one right here. So we had this 1-minute fair value gap right here, right after missing this initial push down. So we pushed straight down, breaking this low again. And then once we started retracing up, we had this 1-minute zone, and that's where I actually took my sell. And it was right there. And my stop loss was just above the inefficiency. And my TP was actually down here, which was at this 1 hour fair value gap right there. We didn't tap into that. We pushed down, and then we came back up, and then we just consolidated, and then we just hit my break even. So that was my trade in the morning on German 40, which hit break even. Now over the day, I'm expecting to continue further sells minimum to this 1 hour fair value gap down here. And the reason for that is there's nothing significant to the left over here that actually, no, we do. we do have this area here, but I'm expecting price to come further down, and the reason for that is because if you mark out this low to this high, we can see that we had this impulsive move up, but we didn't retrace more than 50% into a discounted region. So that to me screams liquidity. So we have a discounted area that hasn't been tapped into. We're hovering above it, consolidating above it. So I'm going to be expecting sells minimum down to this area here, which will be in a discounted area, to then buy up. So my bias right now is bearish, and the only zone that I can see is we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here. Actually, what was it? Hourly one. Nope. 15-minute one. We've just about kind of tapped into it, kind of creating equal highs. But overall, I'm expecting sales at least down to this area here before the buy up. I would like to buy, and the reason for that is we are in this daily fair value gap, as you can see right there. So I'm basically expecting the buys, but I want it to come a bit lower. And that's what I would prefer. We might not come down lower, but that is kind of what I would want to happen before buying up. So I'm expecting price to come down before buying up. That's kind of what I'm expecting on DAX. It's not the cleanest because, I mean, look at it. It's right now it's just moving sideways. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But
that's probably
maybe
normal because of market opens, right? Like market opens, moves, and then just ranges until what, like NQ open, and then it moves again, DAX, or?
Yeah, it tends to move in NQ open as well. But
Yeah.
the main time to enter is, of course, London open because it's a European stock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's clean. Yeah. I think we trade in very, very similar ways. I just avoid mainly the shorts, like, because I trade NQ, and for me it's like the chart is going up and to the right. So why am I trying to short? It always just ends up burning me.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, go.
You know what? The funny thing is my most profitable trades have been on shorts. It's whenever I'm selling, it's because that's where you get like the big drops. That's typically where I just get my big trades. But I understand what you mean, that with indices, they do typically over time just go up. So it just makes sense to look for buys.
Yeah. That's that is a very valid point. It's like if you want to make the most amount in the least amount of time, is probably going to be in shorts.
The short, yeah.
Like shorts on gold, on DAX, on NQ, they're so volatile.
Yeah.
But then
Because
obviously it has to be also a quick trade, so you get in and you get out. So that is the main thing that then people struggle with. It's because they see the trade moving 3R in 5 minutes, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's going to be a 10R trade, a 20R trade. Hold it for way too long because the market ends up moving in one specific direction and they're still in the trade. And then they marry the shorts, and then you're effed. That's what I would say. I don't know if you experienced that the same with gold, where people marry their short-term bias too much. What is your experience with that, Astus?
for gold, for me, probably I always prioritize buys, right? Why am I saying that is because if you remember, I think about 2 or 3 months ago when gold went from like 2,500 to almost 4,000 or 3,500, or pretty much 4,000. I mean, that thing been buying every single day with no pullback. So anytime you see like a small reason to sell, price just the next candle just pumping, just breaks the structure, and does that all the time. So on gold, I've always been prioritizing buys. If you check my account statistic, buys and buys and buys and buys. So whenever I see a sell, I only take sell pullback if it's maybe on the H4 or something, like on the higher time frame. If I see a pullback on the 15-minute, I don't really take a 15-minute pullback, because if the daily is bullish, probably it's just going to break that 15-minute structure. So buys has always been like the main focus on gold. And what you said is also right. When if you want to make a lot of money in a short period of time, you have to sell, because the market can sell in one day and give you like 1,000 pips move. But if it wants to go up, it usually takes like weeks to go up 1,000 pips. But for a sell, it's really, really easy. So that has been like the whole thing. But sell on gold is, you can even see meme where people are like, you sell gold, you just want to lose your account because it's always been bullish.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, because I think that it's because I don't know if you experience this with people you talk to, because probably you talk with way more gold traders than I do.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think their biggest problem is? The main gold traders that you see are unprofitable. What is their main problem, you would say?
They tend to overtrade and try to look for setup when there's no setup. Like right now, you see prices ranging clearly, and we all know that we have to wait for price to give us some clean structure before getting a setup. But what they do is they try to trade either way, right? You can check, let's say last week, the whole week been like a lot of doji H4, and they just try to trade either way. Like price takes high, takes low, takes high, takes low, and at the end you'll see that maybe just a 100 pip range, and they maybe lost 5 to 10% of their account size just like that. So it's how you have to avoid trading range, which is really, really important. If you can avoid trading range, and then manipulation.
Yeah.
Gold manipulation is something like, it's something real. You can see on the chart all the time where you have like maybe even a 5-minute candle that does like 200 pips move, just because maybe there's some liquidity resting somewhere where price just quickly take it out and then move to the opposite direction. So lack of liquidity knowledge, as well as the discipline of waiting for the correct setup when you see clearly that price is ranging. And that applies to a lot of pairs as well, not only gold. And also the lot sizing. You think that maybe 0.01 lot on gold is probably the same as EU, but it's definitely not. So the lot size also plays with the psychology sometimes for those people. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think in terms of lot size, that's probably risk
Yeah.
management. It's like, if you're a trader and you don't understand your lot size, like, come on, like, are you really a trader? But like all the rest, like, I see that all the time. And your story was very funny, of someone telling you, hey, what time does the market open? It's like, what the fuck do you mean, when does the market open? Like, wait until you go to sleep.
I literally told him.
It's time to sleep.
At first, I didn't tell him. I was like, yo, I don't really care. And he's still asking me, like, come on, like the market. And it was on Friday or something. He was asking, like, what time, on Sunday, he was asking, like, what time is the market going to open? Like, come on, man. Like, let the market breathe for a minute. Oh.
Oh, people at 2 a.m. in the morning, they're like, what am I doing? After they blow their account, they're like, what am I doing? Why do I trade gold at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Just to take a loss, and probably the whole
But
day
yeah.
you'll be depressed on your bed just because you've traded all night. And
The
I actually like trading EU.
blown account.
I like trading EU a lot. The reason I stopped trading EU is because, like, since I started trading with Profitability, like, I don't like opening really big lot sizes. You know, the more big lot you open, the more like some sort of spread, or there's like a cost to it, especially commission related and those kind of things. So on gold, I may maybe open 3 lot or 5 lots. That's enough to make a good amount of money. But to have the same leverage on EU, you should open like 10, 20, which is, again, as I said, it has some cons. But trading EU is actually very interesting. It follows liquidity really well, FVGs really well. Like, it's one of the cleanest trading pairs, easiest to trade at, in my opinion. Really nice.
Yeah, usually I tell this to people who ask me, like, if you want to learn to trade, you go to EU. If you want to make a lot of money, like, first learn to trade, obviously, and then you go to a more volatile pair, like a gold, like a DAX, like an NQ, because once you're profitable, the only thing you need now is volatility, and that's where the indices and and gold and so on come into play, and the commodities come into play. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, no,
agree, Zamco.
absolutely. The most money you're going to make is on indices and metals, things like that, rather than forex pairs.
Forex,
typically.
yeah. Forex.
Yeah. And people have to keep in mind, like when we say the most amount of money you're going to make, we're not saying that you should do this because you're going to make more money, because we know that most people that are unprofitable and go to
lose
these
money.
pairs remain unprofitable because it's like you're not ready yet. It's like you're trying to go to a Formula One car and you've never driven a normal car. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to crash. Like you don't even know how to shift. So I do think that is a very, very good point, that most money you will make is going to be in indices and it's going to be in commodities. But in order to get to that consistency, FX is perfect because it's volatile enough for you to make money, not volatile enough for you to lose it all in a day. Unless you just go in bananas on FX for some reason, which I don't think you even can, man. It's like most of the time it's just ranging.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I've been planning to start trading NAS. I don't know if you guys have some like experience with it. If you can let me know, because like recently when I check NAS compared to gold, like NAS moves crazy. One day moves on NAS gives almost like a whole week moves on gold when I've noticed like for the last few weeks. So I was like, am I missing out on something? Probably if I trade this thing. It's way easier to catch, let's say 3R on NAS than catching 3R on gold, like even for the whole week. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys' experiences with those indices. Probably maybe US30. I don't know. German Terry, I never really tried. I don't think if I've ever analyzed it before, but I'm open for suggestion, by the way.
I can tell you, I think the biggest thing that people will love when they go into indices is that if it moves at one specific time. Like NQ, yes, it might move during London session. I don't care. But we know that in 1 hour's time, which is when the stock market opens, NQ is going to have a lot of volatility. Like that's why it's beautiful. It's because in 45 minutes, I either get a trade or I don't. And then I just let the trade run for the rest of the day. And I think Zamco has the same exact experience with DAX, which is London opens, market moves a lot, and then he goes about his day. Unless he wants to trade in the afternoon, and he trades at stock market open from US. I don't know if that's your experience.
Yeah, that's typically what I do now. It's just I just wait for my London session open. If I get a trade, then great. If not, then it's like, all right, well, I'm kind of done. I'm not really going to see anything.
Yeah, like that's so in 45 minutes, you do your analysis. The market either hits your levels or it doesn't, and you move on. Like how many times, and people in the chat, you can let me know. How many times have you woken up and gold has moved, I don't know, 200 pips or 2,000 pips, whatever, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, oh, why does this happen overnight?
Yeah, you
Right?
just
The same
said
thing
it,
with
bro.
FX.
This is so
Like-
true. That thing can move more at Asian session than it does at both London and New York. Like, no
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
You can look like right now. You can look at gold right now. Look at the move it gave at Asian, and then look at the move even gave London until now. Like, just look at the difference. Like, look at that buy, and that's
Yeah,
Asian.
that is
By the
Asia.
way.
Yeah.
That's Asian. So it's that thing really amazes me. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But maybe with indices, you know your specific time you're looking for a setup, which you said it. So if you are maybe looking for London Open, let's say New York Open, I mean, then you just come, you look for your maybe 45-minute setup or maybe 1 hour setup. And if you get, that's good. If you don't get, but mostly after the session, price doesn't really do much, which is really interesting. But with golds, you can't really rely on timing alone. It's really difficult.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why so many people overtrade on gold and sometimes even FX. It's because you don't have specific times that you're trading. Any time can be a time to trade. You don't know if the market is going to move now or if it's going to move in the next 3 hours. So you have to stare at the charts all the time. Like today, I only looked at the charts because someone said about something about Ukraine, and I was like, what? And then I checked the EU and it dropped, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just got off the charts again because I don't really
Yeah.
care. It's like, okay, that's I'm going to trade NQ in 1 hour. That's it. That's all my trading. So yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, and
let's go.
fundamental, I'm not really like the best at fundamental, but sometimes when you have those government issues, Ukraine, Russia, US, those tariff, they always affect the market somehow. And these are things that you can't really predict. You don't know when Trump will just really come and be like, I'm going to tariff this country 100%. You just never know. So you can have those unexpected move in pretty much any asset. It happens. FX
Yeah.
and indices. It's
Yeah.
not, you can't predict, but yeah.
Yeah, you can
It's
always
something.
have the unexpected move.
Yeah.
That's a very valid point, because else people will start looking at NQ and they see the NQ moving during London and they're like, oh my god, do I have to trade London now? It's like, no, it's like, yes, sure, sometimes it's gonna move during London, but I don't care. Like, I don't know if Zam, if you have the same experience of like DAX, you wake up, DAX moved, and you're like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Because you know you wouldn't trade it either way.
Yeah. If Asian session has moved DAX like crazy, it's like, oh, I don't care. It's done. I can't do anything. It's done what it's done. That's it. I'll still wait for my London session. And
yeah.
And
that's
also a mistake a lot of
sessions is so
traders
important.
make. Like when you have a trading pair you are trading, they mostly think that you are going to catch every single move. And sometimes when they don't catch a move, they have that fear of missing out the next move, that they always on the chart looking for setups. And that's not good. Like if I'm not trading Asia, I'm not trading Asia. There's no reason for me to start trading Asia just because yesterday I saw Asia moving maybe 100 to 200 pips. So again, that comes down to the discipline where, like, you just don't feel like missing. You can miss moves. You can't look at the chart and be like, you got this. There's no flex on catching every single move. It all matters about making money overall. By the way, catching moves, it's not compulsory for you to do that, and people do not really understand.
Between catching every single move and not having a life, and catching 70% of the moves and having a life, I would rather catch 70% of the moves. So
yeah, have a life.
I'd probably do that.
You prefer, definitely.
Because else, like, you're just gonna be staring at the charts all the time. I saw this. I will try to find this video. I'll do the analysis on NQ very, very soon. I tried to find this video about one guy. He was saying that he was making so much money trading that, like, he didn't want to do anything else, because, like, okay, I can either go out with my friends or keep trading and make, I don't know,
more money.
And that just sucked the life out of him, because then you don't get anything else from life because you're just thinking about trading. Like, there 100% needs to be a balance there. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have that too. Like, I started having that too. I'm gonna be honest, where I'm like, okay, I can either go to the gym or I can trade. Like, I've had that. I don't know if you guys have had that or not.
Well, that's personally me, right? I always had a problem, like inconsistency of going to the gym. Probably if I do a gym subscription, probably 2 to 3 times in a month, that's the time I'll go. And most of the time I take a trade and then my trade is running and I'm like, it's my gym time, but I'm still holding a trade. So I'm skipping the gym for that day just because I'm still holding a setup. Or maybe I'm waiting for a setup and I can't just go to the gym. So I end up canceling my real life plan just because I have a trade running. So I always have a situation where I have to, maybe, am I gymming or am I trading? And mostly I just choose trading because probably I'm already on a setup where I have to stay to manage my trade. And you know how gold volatile is, like that thing can move so fast and sometimes it can even give you slippage. If you're not just on your chart, something just went wrong, then you just miss out on, or you just make one of your biggest mistakes. So it's a problem I have, and I'm still having the problem. So I don't know. Should I just cancel my plan to trade, or should I just close my trade and go out?
I'd probably just keep the trade and then check on your phone, or just set your TP and move on. That's what I do. I don't know. What do you do?
If you do scalp, it's complicated. I mean, sometimes you do wait for, let's say you take a trade where you have like two zones, probably one where you just try to see if there's a reaction for you to close it out, and maybe one where it's just a full TP. So those zones where you have a reaction, sometimes you want to see on trading view like what's actually happening for you to take a decision if you should close your trade or if you should keep it running.
Yeah. Usually I just keep it running personally, but that's because because I trade I execute on the 1 minute on NQ, like 1 minute or 5 minute, but usually most of my trading is based on like what I think the daily is going to do. So for example, for everyone in the chat that was asking for NQ analysis, like literally what I'm waiting for is just for the market to come towards towards this level, which is a 50% of the order block, of the daily order block. So that's where I expect the market to go after now. And then from here on, if we see a strong move to the upside, I'm going to be all up on the longs because I'm not going to be shorting. Now, this is the thing for everyone that is watching. If I think that there is a 90% chance that the market is coming towards the 50% of the daily order block, I still don't need to take the trade. And that is what a lot of people, what makes a lot of people fail, which is just because you have an analysis doesn't mean that you have to execute on that analysis. Because the analysis can simply be, I want to wait until the market is here. And then once the market reverses, I want to long, right? But a lot of people think, oh, okay, since I'm so confident that the market is coming to the higher time frame level, I want to trade to the higher time frame level, and then I want to long. When what ends up happening, and this is why a lot of people struggle, they short and they're right, and the market comes to the downside. But once it's here, they're running 1 to 2, and they're like, oh, but if we come towards this low, it's a 1 to 4. Oh, and if we come towards this low, it's a 1 to 5. And so they hold their trade more than they plan to. And then it just reverses, takes them out for a break even or for a loss because you didn't actually stick to your analysis, which was the market goes from where it's at right now to the low. And this is the thing, we are already at the higher time frame level. We are already at the daily order block. So it can move bullish at any point, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do expect it to go to the 50%. But it can move at any point. So right now, like what I would like to see in the beginning of the session is basically the market just tanking, coming towards the 50%, and then quickly reversing. Like that is what I would love to see. Because the problem right now is you're fighting against 4-hour structure, which is moving bearish, right? You can see the market is clearly bearish internally on the 4-hour. Overall, still bullish, right? You can see moves lower, but fully reverses. Like this is just part of bullish structure, literally. Like if I tell you all on the chat to draw me an uptrend, this is what you would draw.
Higher,
Right? This
higher,
is,
higher, yeah.
yeah, this is basic structure. And what a lot of people want to see, like, oh, bullish is just if we do this. No, that is not bullish. Why? Because then you just zoom out and bullish structure still does this.
Looks like, yeah.
So like you're just too zoomed in here. You think that only this is going to happen. Eventually the pullback comes and then it will continue to the upside. And I think that is exactly what is happening right now on NQ. I don't know if you all see this the same way, but probably we look at similar levels for different reasons, or a lot of people really like the shorts, which it's not really my cup of tea. But what would you execute on? Since you want to execute on NQ, do you want to do analysis on NQ? And me and Zamco would say what we're looking for. That would be good.
All right. Give me. Interesting.
Because this is the thing.
You see
The
my
way
screen?
I trade FX is the same way I trade NQ. It's simply on other time frames. So probably the same way you trade gold, you can probably trade NQ or DAX the same way. So
Do you currently see my screen?
It
not
hasn't
yet.
come up yet.
I will give it.
Give me a second.
It will be done in.
Entire screen. Do you see it now?
Not yet, but it's fine. Someone will start sharing now.
Why is no? How don't you guys see my screen? I thought I did share.
Are you still sharing?
Yeah, I'm sharing, but you guys see me.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
It's done.
Okay. What are these lines? I don't even know. Okay, so the analysis you did, I would probably have the same thing, right? Because do you guys use? I don't know the name of this thing again. It's not
Volume
sure
imbalance?
exactly. Volume imbalance, exactly. So I have this volume imbalance. This could be a zone that can be expecting price to go there as well. But knowing how bullish this thing is, I'm actually not really expecting price to come here. Okay. So this is zone I have in mind that probably price could come there someday, but not now. So that's out of my analysis. And the way you did this is pretty much the same thing, right? If you look at the market structure being bullish, and market structure being bullish. And then we have, this is pretty much like the last low that price has given before giving you the new high. So as far as price doesn't go below this low, price is bullish. So I was expecting price to hold this low. Okay, I'm not expecting price to go below it. But that's market structure standpoint. If I now try to look at let's say liquidity standpoint, I go to something like the 15 minutes. 15 minutes, this looks too much of a liquidity. I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah.
I got the same thing marked out. Beautiful.
Yeah, so we have a lot of liquidity. So because of this liquidity, there's a reason for price to take out that liquidity as well. So now that I have two different things, one saying that we have liquidity to be taken, and the liquidity looks good. I mean, we have the volume imbalance below, then we have liquidity, so you can be expecting price to like come take the liquidity, fill the volume imbalance, and then give a buy. I mean, which is really nice. But now I always have a plan B where, like, what if price doesn't do this? Like, what if price doesn't come to that zone, right? So you cannot be looking for another, let's say, buy opportunity. And for that, to be honest, inside of this, I'm not saying anything. We have maybe fair value gap here, but that's already failed. We have nothing here. Probably, let me see H1. There's really nothing here. So if I don't have anything, despite I know it's a daily order block, but nothing on the lower time frame, here's what I would do. We have liquidity that price has created here, right? So when we have this liquidity, I'm expecting price to, let's say, drop, clear this liquidity, and then give me a buy setup, right? So let's say if New York open here and then we have a massive sell, so we have that Judas swing manipulation and then a buy reversal, which can happen. But if I'm not expecting price to buy from this zone, what I'm doing is pretty simple. I'm gonna watch price. If price come, it does give me, let's see, what I want to see, and it's give me a buy, I can buy. Okay. But if it doesn't, let's say it buys, but let's say that I'm not convinced about the buy that's happening here, right? What I mostly do is I look for continuation, right? Because H4 gave me this. You can know that, like, you have a lot of entries that's happened before, and I can be expecting the same thing happening where I wait for price to do this, and probably that would give me like re-entry opportunities to probably create a new high. So if a zone is not clear for me for a buy, then I wait for price to start buying from it first, and then I look for re-entry after price is flying away. Same, let's say we have sell from this high, right? When assuming you were not expecting a sell and price dropped, It broke a low here, and then it gave you a pullback, and that pullback price came and tapped this sort of order block here. If you didn't sell here because you were not expecting, here could be a reason to sell, right? And then if you didn't sell there as well, probably here could be what another reason to sell. So you can have so many re-entries after the main entry happening. But if I don't see a reason to buy here, then I wait for price to give me that bullish market structure, then I continue buying. But if that's not the case, right, and then price just give me this, keep giving me the bearish market structure, and probably I would keep selling to target this level to the downside. I think this would be like what I would be expecting. But
Yeah,
again,
that was very funny.
fundamentally, I don't know, fundamentally price can actually come here, because if Trump does say something, this thing can just go bullish. So it's really confusing fundamentally, but this is basically what I would think happening on the analysis. I don't know what you guys thinking.
Yeah, that
I
was a
think
very
we have
clear explanation of
this.
market structure, to be honest. You
We
guys should
have
probably
this.
watch this back. Because
We
yes,
have
you
this
didn't
from
say exactly what you wanted to hear, but if you read between the lines, this was a very, very good lesson on market structure. Like fucking amazing, to be honest.
You have this, and then you have this is the pullback you're talking about, where if someone is too zoomed in, then the person will think that price is bearish, right? You may
Yeah.
keep saying that price is bearish, but at the point where you reach the higher time frame POI and you still think price is bearish, you just have unexpected move where price just takes you out. And you'll never know why. You'll be like, why did price just turn bullish suddenly? But the whole thing here happening is just a pullback for the main structure than that being bullish like the whole time. So yeah, that's what I think could happen. And is NQ same as NAS 100?
Yeah.
Is it?
And NQ is just the futures name for it, and NAS 100 is the CFD name.
Oh, okay. And I did have some. You guys may not believe in me, but I had some crazy setups. Like when I said I want to start trading this thing, right? I bought a futures account, right? And I did pass. I even got a payout. But what happened is I was taking the position, having let's say 2 hour, 3 hour setup just to pass, maybe get a small payout. But later, I took maybe a sell here, and I realized that price went for like 10 hour, 20 hour because I have entries on the 1 minute, and price just end up going so far that I wasn't even expecting. I don't know if I still have the drawing, by the way. These are like the drawing. Imagine I have a cell here, right? This cell was like 4 hour. And before I realized this thing went here, I was like, what? There's no end. I don't know how long this thing took to go there, probably 1 or 2 days max. I don't know how long. This is 2 daily candle, by the way. There's no way gold is gonna give you this sell in 2 days and you catching this. Like it was kind of like insane thing. One off here, I closed here, price came here. This one here went here. This one here as well. That was like 5 hour, but eventually price went here. Like it was insane. And that's when I started. Let me give it a try. Maybe that could be nice.
Yeah, NQ is beautiful, but I think you'll have a lot of fun with it because I think you know goddamn well what you're talking about. So I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Just trading in 40 minutes right now, and that's it. You trade for 45 minutes to an hour, it'll probably crush it too. So yeah.
This thing is ranging. And if I should trade, does it have to be futures or I should do CFD?
Depends on what platform you want to go for. So I know that trading is not. I'll shout it out because if it wasn't for, because trading is doing an amazing job. Like if you want to go for for futures, like futures just has easier challenges. CFDs, well, cheaper challenges. CFDs has more expensive challenges, but CFDs is easier to get a payout. Futures is harder to get a payout. I don't know. You've probably tried both. What did you feel about the difference of futures and CFDs?
Actually, one thing I like about futures is about the trade environment. Like when you trade, you don't have to deal with things like spread. Like it's so smooth when you're trading futures. But again, futures has so many rules that when I got my first futures account, I almost just gave up. I'm like, there's no way I can't pass, let's say, challenge in one day. I have to take 3 days because of some consistency rule. I have to do this. I make money. I can't cash out everything, maybe 50%. Like there were so many rules that I wasn't waiting for it. But despite all of that, my first futures account, by the way, I did pass and I did get the payout without blowing it. And that blew my mind. But after the first payout, I lost the account. Like I just lost the account because I wasn't like really familiar with the rules. So for the rules, I think CFDs is much easier. But for the trading, as you can clearly see that, like I think NAS or this indices, it's kind of easy to get like those crazy moves. So I think the trading side of thing, the futures is easy, but the rules, I prefer CFDs to it. But
Yeah.
maybe I need to get used to it to probably trade both. But
No, I think that's the nature of the game. Like rules on futures are harder, but they're cheaper.
yeah,
CFDs, they're easier, but they're more expensive.
they're
What
more
has your
expensive. Yes.
experience been, Zamco, with both CFDs and futures?
I honestly find it easier to have bigger payouts on futures, and the reason for that is because you can copy between like lots of accounts. So that to me is the selling point of futures. Obviously, you have the other benefits like no slippage and very like basically no spreads typically. But my main thing was that I can make a lot by spending very little. So I pulled like 100K payout from one futures account, but it was copied between 5 accounts, so that's why. And
That's why.
that to me,
That's why I
that's
got a
why.
100K payout.
Yeah, that's why. So exactly. So I spend very little, and you can make a lot more when it comes to futures. So I prefer futures when it comes to the amount of money that you can make, but I prefer CFDs overall just because of the rules. The rules are just so much easier. I don't have to like think about like trading drawdown. I don't know if that's the thing on most futures accounts, but like things like consistency rules, I just don't have to worry about that. CFDs is very easy. You're funded. This is your drawdown. Just trade, and that's it. So I prefer CFDs in that regard, but overall, I feel like with futures, I can just make a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very valid point. Yeah, like even especially with now, first of all, 50K, always go for 50K accounts. Second is like you can copy trade between like 20 or like even 30 if you copy trade between prop firms too. Like you can go absolutely insane. Now, when people say no spread, because someone is saying futures no spread is crazy, you still have 25-cent spread on, well, both NASDAQ and ES, which is one tick. I don't know, what is it on DAX? Is it also 0.25?
I haven't traded DAX with futures because most prop firms don't offer DAX on
Okay.
futures. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's basically
But
non-existent.
if you compare spread on CFDs with futures, you'll know 100% that you will feel the spread on CFDs, but you
Yeah,
not
yeah.
always feel the spread on trading futures. That's one thing that I've noticed. And what you said is true. If you trade CFDs first allocation is pretty low, right? Max allocation is really low, and sometimes you are not just allowed to copy trade between your accounts, right? Like sometimes you are not just allowed. So you have to get 2 different setup just for you to make, let's say, account on
Yeah.
2 of your make money on 2 of your account. But if you have a futures account, you can copy trade between pretty much all of your account. I don't think they have any rule preventing you from copy trades between your account. So futures, I never really copy trade between account features, by the way. Just seen people explaining that, but I think it's much easier. And I think it's much easier to go, let's say, have bigger capital trading futures. You can see people be like, I'm 700K funded, 1 million funded really easily. The person can go from maybe just 1 week, 1 million funded. But being 1 million funded trading CFDs prop firm is not an easy job. It's not an easy job. Already
Yeah.
it involve you having at least 3 different prop firms to even do it at the first place. So
Yeah, and it requires a lot of capital up front too,
Yeah.
to get funded with $1 million with CFDs, because you're
Yeah.
basically it costs you between $5,000 and $7,000, and you have to pass every single one of them.
You'll probably spend over
So it's
10,000.
definitely not easy.
You'll probably spend over 10,000 because there's no way you are going to
Yeah,
pass
exactly.
all of the account without blowing any and go max funded. So
Yeah,
you'll definitely spend more than 7,000.
yeah, because the way you get max funded and you get to 1 million, very rarely is it like a very sustainable way of like, yeah, gonna risk 1% and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. It's usually way more aggressive of just people going like way more risk inside of the company rules, way more risk. So that's why like you tend to blow more accounts for sure,
Yeah.
which obviously is not great. What is your analysis on EU now that you're checking?
You've just taken this low, so there's a reason for a push up. But let me. I don't think I did a top down analysis, so let me stop. Wait, I have so many drawings. What did I have? That's pretty insane. Anyway, let me do the whole thing from scratch. Let me see what's happening. All right, so yeah, even weekly pretty bullish. We have all of this. We have this low, so probably what is more likely to happen is price to create a new high, right? Because if you try to look at previous market structure, this is what price been doing. So probably this is the more likely to happen on the weekly. But despite you have a bullish weekly, that doesn't mean that price will not sell, because you can always have a pullback. That's done for weekly. Let's see what daily. Nothing much on a daily. Let me go to H4. Sometimes I can skip time frame, right? Just because there's no data, right? If you look at this push to the upside, you can clearly see that maybe you have some small structure inside, but it's really difficult for you to read them well, right? But if you go to H4, H4 is clearly going to give you what you would want to see. This is the beauty about if you know which time frame can give you like useful data. So from this, we also have a bullish market structure. And this bullishness, we also mitigated this guy. I didn't mitigate, that's pretty insane. Oh, if it didn't tap that, what did price tap then? Let me see H1. H1. This week is gonna give us something on the lower time frame. I don't know what, but this week is gonna give us something. But let's look at current market structure. So when I look at this, what I see, we have this wick here, right? That got cleared from this, and then we gave a pullback. And from that pullback, you also cleared this wick. And then from here, we also give a pullback. So I'm expecting a buy pullback, which I think is already been happening. Yeah. So as price takes this low, we can have a pullback to probably here. And then if price does go above that, then we can have here. So these are like the two things I'm looking at right now. So price come here, and then whatever price does here will decide if price wants to continue up or price just giving a pullback here for a sell to the downside. So this could have been what the buy scenario. But one thing I also do is like, assuming I have a buy, right, which is happening here, but if my take profit it's not worth my risk, I don't take it. Let's say here is like 1.2, 1.8. If I think that 1.8 or maybe 1R is not enough for the risk I'm putting in, then I just don't take the setup. I wait for the setup that is worth the risk reward I want for. So if I'm maybe going for 3R, then any setup I'm looking for, I have to wait for 3R setup. So that's the idea I have. So this is actually been pushing up, but this could have been like a TP.
Yeah. What is your average risk reward, Zamco?
1 to 10, 1 to 12 on average.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Yo,
Okay, sorry for the swearing. My God, because I'm a low risk reward
he,
trader,
he,
man. I like my 1 to 2.
I
God damn, 1 to
I also
10, 1 to
have
20.
high risk reward trade, but that can't be my average. My average is 1 to 5, right? 1 to 5. Let's say if I
Yeah.
have this is how I do my thing, right? If I have a live account, right? Let's say I have a 100K funded account. Mostly I risk 1% on the live account. So I'm aiming for, if it's a live account, let's say the live account is at break even, I mostly go for 3 to 5 hour setup, right? So if I take a 3 hour setup risking $1,000 and then I'm making $3,000, and with funding pips, $3,000 on, let's say, one step account, you have weekly payout. So weekly payout, the $3,000 is more than enough. So I'm going for a $3,000 payout on my one step account. That's how I do. But if I have, let's say, an account with much bigger payout cycle, like maybe monthly or bi-weekly, then I go for anything above 5 hour because I want to make more money based on the time frame I have to make the profit. So 3 hour, 5 hour. But if I'm on a challenge phase, yes, I can go for 10 hour, especially if I'm trying to pass the challenge, right? If I have a 100K and I'm trying to pass phase one, probably making 8%, then what I can do is I can risk 1% to make 8%. So I'm looking for an 8 hour trade, right? But if I have, let's say I have a 10 hour, 10% target, then I'm going for a 10 hour trade as well. So I'm going for any risk reward that is enough for me to pass the challenge. So that's how I do it. Any risk reward that allow me to pass the challenge. And if I'm in drawdown, I can go for a 15-hour trade. That's because maybe I'm 5% in drawdown and I'm looking for making 10% profit plus the 5% drawdown. That's like 15%. So 15 hours, I can also go for that. But 5 hour is like the average I usually go for. And sometimes I can risk 2% to make 10% with the 5 hour. So 5 hour is the average, the most average should I have 5 hour and 10 hour. That could happen. But having an average of 12 hour, that's pretty insane. I mean, what's the win rate like? Yeah. What's the win rate like? That's crazy.
What is it? Someone is asking why you don't trade silver and platinum. Listen, to be fair, I'm gonna. It's just a question that someone asked in the chat. I don't think it's a good question, but I just had to ask because it's directed at you. So, because it's like I don't trade it because I fucking trade gold. It's like, why would I trade anything else? I don't know if that is your answer. I would say it is.
Probably, but the thing is, I can be profitable trading literally any pair. Okay, that's one thing you have to understand. As far as like you spend a lot of time learning your craft, you'll definitely be profitable trading that thing. So I've been trading EU and I've been profitable trading EU. So you may also argue that why did I like switch from EU to trading gold, which I already gave the answers previously about lot sizes and those kind of things. But trading silver, it just never came in my mind. Like I just never had an idea like trading silver. Even oil, I've never traded oil. The last time every time I open oil, first like it ranges way more than gold sometimes. And then when I saw this thing happening, you guys remember this move?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I was like, yo, like when I saw this, I'm like, there's no way I'm trading. Yeah, if I buy this and this thing does something similar, there's no way I'm recovering. If it's a profit, probably I can just blow the account. But I don't know if that's a live account. You're going to blow the whole live account. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your live account. So
yeah,
gold, it's just the popular, one of the popular golds. So I don't know, not much behind to see.
yeah. When that move on oil happened, I bought so many oil companies, like in the stock
Like
market.
this move
Like,
happened, you've been trading.
yeah, I have a video. I would have to find it. I have a video on my either computer or on my phone of the market going below $0. Because if we check I think the futures charts on oil went negative. Actually went like, yeah. Let me
Bro,
just put CL.
I started CL.
Put CL on the chart, and you'll see the futures one.
Yeah.
It's insane. Look at that.
Bro.
Oh wait, that's not it.
That's like minus.
No, that is not it.
This is not it.
Minus 15 grand. Someone had a fat finger there. No, go to the the daily,
Okay. But
and then go to 2020
2020.
April. What? Why are you seeing such a crazy chart?
I don't know. Maybe let me see if I'm looking at the wrong
Wait,
thing.
no, let me check.
From
Let me share my
which
screen.
broker are you? Crude oil. Let me see.
No, it's the futures one. So you're in the right one. I'm gonna share my screen too.
Okay. But one thing is, I started trading in 2022. So whatever happened before, I just came and saw it. I have no idea.
Look at this. Minus 22. That was the lowest it went. And I was just buying a lot of ExxonMobil at the time. And then, to be fair, I did sell. So I was buying at $32.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I must have all the transactions. I was buying at $32 and then I sold at 76. So 2x my money in how long? Like 2 years? So it was a little bit less. I think it was even here. So 2x my money in around a year. So that was absolutely insane.
But
'cause
imagine you
oil
leverage trading.
companies were
Imagine you
so
leverage trading this on MT5. You.
Oh, I think a lot of people got a lot of problems, like, and a lot of brokers probably had a lot of problems with this. They were simply closing down oil, like you couldn't trade oil at the time. That was literally what was happening. They would not allow you to trade oil. Because I remember, because I wanted to trade oil and it literally was giving me an error. I just wanted to short it. I was continuing to short it. And it wasn't allowing me to. So, but I've seen, I don't know if you guys know the Euro Swiss, like
Yeah,
Euro Swiss.
2015.
Yeah, that was probably the worst thing that ever happened on trading. I think this was the worst thing to ever happen.
That's
Because a
country's
lot of
currency.
people.
That's
This was a 19% drop, and this was a 19% drop, and I think, let me see. Yeah, like this was in 2 hours. So if you had any trades, like any longs here,
yeah.
you blew your account. It doesn't matter what you did, you blew your account. Even if it was with 1 lot or 0.1 lots or even 0.01, you blew your account there. A lot of people, like, if we go to the fucking, what is this? Yeah, so this was probably in a couple of minutes this happened. It's just because I don't know if you know what happened, but this was paired. So Switzerland said that they will always buy Swiss franc at €1.20 at the exchange rate of €1.20
Okay.
because they wanted to keep the value. And then one day they just removed the pairing. They were like, we're not buying anymore, and it just fucking tanked. Like a lot of people lost so much money. Because think about it, if Trump now says, guys, I will never let NASDAQ go lower than 23,000 on the futures contract.
Yeah.
I will never allow NASDAQ to go under 23,000. When it's at 23,000, you're just going to buy with everything you have. And people did that. And then Trump will say, you know what, guys, I take it back. And then it absolutely crashed it. That is literally what happened. It was crazy. It was crazy. But then I wasn't trading. I was 15 at the time. So what was the weirdest pair that you guys have traded?
For me, CHF pairs. CHF pairs, crazy.
I think wheat.
Swiss?
Wheat.
Wheat?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I traded corn too. Because I knew it probably was going to be something along those lines. I remember shorting corn and I made money, like 3R. I was like, yeah. Now I want to hear it from the chat. what is the craziest pair that the chat has traded? Because like there's crazy pairs. Have you guys seen the Mexican peso?
Yeah. I've traded that.
Wait, it's not the Mexican peso, maybe. What is it then? There's. Is it Mexican peso?
Turkish lira.
Yeah, probably. Oh, do you know the? There you go. Look at this. Imagine trading this.
Yeah. Did you look at any African pair at all? It's going to surprise you.
Like ZAR?
ZAR, yeah, that's the only one that I've seen.
Not just ZAR. You can try what's the name? GSH.
USD G.
HS.
GES.
No,
HS.
GHS. Yes.
Oh my god, you guys talked over each other. Fuck.
GHS.
Yes.
GHS.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. They have no liquidity.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's actually
It's
the
insane.
currency of my country, by the way. So for this
God
only
damn.
reason, I don't keep my money in my bank account. Just look at how much drop this thing does, or how much push. You can lose
Yeah.
50% of your net worth over a week just because it's something crazy. But just
like
okay.
doesn't it make so much more sense to have your money in anything else that isn't the currency? Because
I always keep in USDT.
that thing is gonna hold its value.
I always keep in USDT. I always keep in USDT.
Yeah. Because, for example, if you buy an iPhone, wherever you go, an iPhone is gonna be $1,000.
Yeah.
But with you, it can be, I don't know, let's say 50,000 of your currency, and then tomorrow it's like 100,000 of your currency.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like,
exactly.
what? That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
But if you keep, let's say,
So,
your
yeah,
money,
that is wild.
if you keep the money in USDT, and then let's say if there's a change in price, they'll always adapt. Like they'll change the price in current market as well. If the price goes from, let's say, 15,000 to 20,000 per an iPhone, then the exchange rate also changes. So you are not really losing in anything. You'll always buy at the exact price you
Yeah.
always wanted to buy. But if you keep your money in the government currency, and it's not just, let's say, Ghana or Africa, there are a lot of currencies or government that have really weird currencies where like just so volatile, it just goes up 20%, goes down 15%, or it will mess up a lot. If you want to buy, let's say, a house for like $1 million, right? And you keep your money in that currency, and at the time you want to make the transaction and you see that your 1 million is maybe worth 800,000, you
Yeah.
lost 200,000 just because you kept your money in that currency. But if you do keep in maybe a more stable currency like USDT, then at any point of time you can just convert your money and get whatever I say you're buying at the same price. Nothing really changes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that is wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to quickly break down NQ. Give me just 1 second. Let's do this. This and this. Okay. Mic is working. Okay. Like right now, I think NQ is looking pretty clean to come towards the daily order block. We can see that on the daily. That would be the target. And then if it, like today, there's two options. We either really close below, right? And then we continue lower towards the area, towards the next order block, or even the volume imbalance that was mentioned. Or from here, we have a very, very strong reaction. Like, but for myself, I'm not really looking for any shorts. Do I think that there's a possibility of the market moving towards the 50%? Yes. Do I want to trade towards that 50%? No, because of what we've mentioned already, which is just because you have a forecast doesn't mean that that forecast is worth taking. And so right now, like the only thing that I'm looking for is, okay, how is the market going to react from this level? Is it going to quickly move up? And in that case, I'm going to be honest. I might even just wait for tomorrow, because if the market comes all the way down here, the 4-hour is going to continue bearish. So if I quickly delete this, the 4-hour is going to continue bearish. So any trades you take, basically you're just trying to fight the 4-hour, because we can just come towards the order block or towards the fair value gap and continue moving to the downside. And so there's a good likelihood that I just wait for the market to shape up tomorrow instead of trying to trade the market right now. Can you take the shorts? Of course, as long as you understand that I still think this is a ticking time bomb, that at any point it can just move higher and you will have to change your buys very, very quickly. So like right now, what am I looking for? 50%. That to be tapped, and then how are we going to react out of it? I'm not really going to execute towards there, but if we now, let's say that the market just moves up now, if we have a 4-hour close above this, I will be looking for the longs, because then we've engulfed this most recent candle, and from there I'll just be looking for the market to move bullish. But yeah, the bias remains the same. Of this, to me, is just a pullback before the market moves higher. Now, the thing is, where are we going to pull back to? Are we going to pull back to the daily order block? Are we going to pull back to the deeper order block, or anywhere in between? So I'm waiting for the market to tell me where the pullback ends, and then I'll execute. So that is really my bias for today. And it's funny that the way you broke down NQ, even though you don't trade NQ, I was like, that is exactly the way I trade. You wait for the market structure to align. If you don't know, if you're not very confident on where the market is going to close, to reverse, and then you trade when the market reverses. But I want to say this. This is very important. I'd love to know then what Zamco's bias is. But a lot of people, they try to find where the low is because they think that the market is just going to do this. Like you don't want to trade if the market does this. You want to trade if the market moves higher, like very strong, because then you just need a piece of this cake, of this impulse, to make good money.
Yeah.
While
You
if
don't
you're
need to
trying
catch
to
the
enter
low.
in pullbacks, you'll have to try to enter here, like catch the low and then catch the move higher. It's just, you're just gonna struggle like that. So I think that is very, very important. You don't need to call the low, because you just wait for the market to show you where the low is, because then you have the impulse. Zamco, do you want to talk about your analysis?
Yeah, sure.
Market opening in 12 minutes.
Yeah, okay, I can do that for NASDAQ. I
Let's
based
go.
Do you guys trade Monday?
yeah.
Monday, yeah. If the market tells me to trade, then hell yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 300K accounts with Apex, and I'm halfway through passing. Should I stay with one contract or switch to risking 1K?
I really don't like questions like that.
I don't know. It's whatever you've done until now, I would just continue doing, because it's working. So if it's working, don't change it.
So basically, how he was talking about. So basically, this is the chart that I believe is it Astus effects. You pronounce
Yeah.
it. So yeah, you were basically showing NASDAQ, and I was just like, wow, perfect. This is exactly what I already have marked out. So we have this 30-minute imbalance right here, or inefficiency, whatever. It's like right here. And the reason why that's significant to me is because as we pushed up, so from this low to this high, when we pushed up, you can see that price didn't retrace more than 50%, and then we just continued even higher. So that to me signifies this is a discounted region that hasn't been tested, and you can see it's a 30-minute imbalance that has not been wicked into. And then another key thing to look at is this bit of price action right here. We've had tap, 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 and then we finally launched up. So all of this to me screams liquidity. And because we haven't retraced more than 50% over here, and we started moving up, that again is this low to me is an inducement. And we have the discounted region over here that has not been filled. So when you pair that together with the overall price action, we can see we have liquidity here. And we have these inducement low over here. So to me, I would expect price to come even lower, breaking all of this low, all of these lows to this area here before finally going up. And what I would do is wait for price to tap into this area, drop to like the 1 minute or the 3 minute time frame, see some sort of market structure shift to the upside, and then take the buys. I'm not going to take the buys the moment price comes here trying to catch this low here. I'm going to let it reject, let it react, see how it reacts. If we're breaking structure to the upside, then I'll wait for the retracement and then take my buy. But this is the area that I'm waiting for, and I'm not just going to take a buy straight away. So like you were saying, it's not about trying to catch the exact low. It's about seeing how price reacts to that area, letting price do its thing, and then getting into the market rather than trying to get the exact top tick or bottom tick entries. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting on for NASDAQ.
That trend line and the inducement, if you put the line throughout, it will give you just one gigantic trend line.
I see what you mean. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you got that as well.
Kind of.
Yeah, I guess it's that. Yeah. So again, it's like very basic price action here and leaving a discounted region. That to me screams price is probably going to be coming down to this area before looking at any buys. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily have to happen. Just because I have this area marked out and I believe price is going to come down to here, it doesn't mean it's going to. It can just start launching up from here and it just continues up, higher and higher, and whatever. That's it. I miss it, and that's perfectly okay. But based off my experience, based off my system, I'm just going to wait for this area down here. So that's what I see on NASDAQ.
Yeah. And would you be comfortable with shorting, or do you think there's not enough of a risk to reward?
It depends on what NYSE does. Let's say we straight away launch up to, let's say, this 30-minute imbalance right here, and the moment we come here, we start creating like so let's say we're coming up here, higher highs, higher lows, and then suddenly we start breaking the lows. I might actually consider taking a short, simply because we have this 30-minute zone here, and overall I'm expecting price to come down to this region down here. So if we are rejecting this zone here, then I will happily take the sell if I get the confirmation.
Yeah, that is exactly how it's short to.
Minimum at least to this low, minimum target, just the previous lows. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We all have pretty one the same.
I have a question. How long have you been trading, Kimmel?
6 years now.
Okay, that's interesting.
Been a minute.
Because I've been trading 7 years.
What about you?
7 years.
Oh yeah.
And I remember.
I've been trading for 3 years.
3 years. Okay, nice. Because I remember like 2 years into my trading journey, I started seeing Kimmel on YouTube or something. I think it was 2 years into my trading journey. And
yeah,
I don't know, for like 5 years.
sorry, you lagged there. You lagged there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was saying that I've been watching you for like 4 or 5 years on YouTube, like constantly. I would just be watching Kimmel's videos on like how to just mark up charts. I even used to copy your chart colors, and it's just nice having like finally met you and spoken to after so long of watching your stuff.
Actually, I was watching your YouTube videos. Most of your videos are like prop firm recommendations and stuff.
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot of them. So you break down prop firm, you try to talk about their rules and stuff. So I've been watching your videos as well.
It's sick seeing you guys fucking crushing it. Like that is very 100K payout, 3 years into trading, here breaking the charts down, which is insane. So it's insane seeing other people doing it too, because that is the beauty of these streams, is that people can see. I would say none of us are like geniuses. We're just normal people that stuck at something for a long enough time and made it happen, basically.
Yeah.
But like, you don't have to be a genius to become a profitable trader. And I think that's the beauty. For example, Formula One. If you want to be a Formula One driver, your family better be a millionaire or, well, decamillionaire before you even are alive. So the probability of that happening is very, very low. While with trading, you can do it from wherever you are. For example, from Ghana, for example, from the UK, for example, from Portugal. So it's much less, requires much less special luck, so to say. So I appreciate that. That is, it's very nice to hear that, and very nice to see you guys absolutely crushing it, because I see the way you guys are breaking down the charts, and I'm like, yeah, they know what they're talking about, which is very, very nice. Which is very, very nice.
Wait, how
But
long
yeah,
did it take you to be profitable?
3 years.
Okay.
3 years to become
Yeah, it
profitable was
took me
insane.
6 years.
God damn.
So 6 years.
What did you go through the same communities I went through, or? I was in 2 UK-based communities without naming them.
Probably not. I don't think so.
Okay.
I wasn't really into communities. I was kind of just doing my own thing. But trading 6
Okay.
years unprofitable, I literally just kept losing money every single year. And I'll see your videos of you like making money. I'm like, bro, this guy's doing it. I can do it. What? And then,
Hey, I have to say, that is like he's not smart, so I should be, and it's true.
no, not that you're not smart. No,
That
not
is a
that.
very good point.
But it was just like, I've seen this guy like growing, and now he's doing it. It's like, why can't I do it? I'm just constantly watching your videos. And 6 years, so yeah, 6 years unprofitable. And my first ever payout was last year, April. And since then, I've done over 650,000 in profit and payouts. So now it's just like, okay, cool. Now I understand the market.
600K payout in a year. 600K payout in a year.
650. Well, now it's like 670, and I have another 21,000 payout submitting tomorrow with funding pips. So that'll be interesting.
Let's go.
In a year.
Let's go. That is sick.
That is
pretty
sick. Pretty
what do you
insane,
think
yeah.
was the click? What do you think made it click?
The click was I got married 2 years ago, and I think that just changed my mindset. Thank you. And that changed my mindset to being a bit more, what would I say? The word is like more responsible, more self-aware. That was a accountability. That was a big one, because for those first 6 years, I did not have any self-awareness, no self-reflection, nothing. I just did the same thing again and again. But once I got married, it kind of forced me like to be self-accountable, self-reflective, responsible, and all that stuff. So then I don't know, just the mindset started changing, and I started just approaching things in a more reflective way, and actually learning from different mistakes and changing my approach and kind of understanding things a bit differently. So I think that was the major thing that changed for me.
That is, yeah. What about you, Astus? What was the big thing that made you profitable?
For me, should I say I don't have enough experience. I've been trading for 3 years, as I said. I started in 2022. Like I think around February 2022, I went through support, resistance, a lot of things, lost money. But what is really important is my first year of trading, I lost money, right? So I started getting profitable on my second year of trading. But despite that, the biggest issue I had was holding my trade. You know how in Africa where like you have $100 and you think that like this is a lot of money, because like people literally have like $50 to $100 salary. So $100 was a lot of money. So when I was trading prop firm or personal account, I was having difficulty holding my trade. When I see my trade going $50, $100 in profit, I just end up closing it. That was like the issue I had on my second year of trading. But what actually changed or clicked is the way I use TradingView. I started using TradingView alert, and that actually helped me so much. Like there is no way I will take a trade on a 200K funded account and see, let's say, $10,000 profit running without me closing it like on my phone like this. But when I take a trade, I just set alert probably at my TP or at my stop loss, and I just go off. I just don't look at it until my alert runs out. Now when I come on the chart, I see that my trade hit TP, and I didn't actually close the trade before I make that profit. So that's one thing that really helped me to start like holding my trade longer and stuff. So second year, like halfway to the second year, that's when I started getting some payouts from Profitability.
Nice.
It wasn't like big payout, like maybe $1,000 payout, $500 payout, and I started scaling up until right now. Right now. So that's how things actually went. But profitability took me a whole 1 year just to master how to trade. And the reason I was able to make it so quickly is because I've been to school the whole time. I've been at the university. But I shifted from regular student to weekend student. So basically, I was going to school only on Saturday and Sunday. So Monday to Friday, I had nothing to do than just being in my room and not doing anything. So I used that time to like learn, backtest, trade, losing money, and all of that. And prior to that, I made some money from crypto in 2021. We had the bull run 2020, 2021. So that was the money I used to start trading. By the way, I lost all that money before I even start becoming profitable. So on my third year, that's when
Goddamn.
I see that I've been consistently since January making well over $10,000 in payout. Maybe 10,000 this month, 20,000 next month, $14,000. So that's how things been going so far. And I can be really grateful to TradingView Alert. That's one thing that really helped me to start like holding my trade longer.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
how things went.
Yeah, I really like with the Zamco, I see that as being like such a killer to 99% of traders, which is like the reason why mistakes are fine is because you're supposed to learn from them and not make them again. But
Yeah.
if you're not smart enough, like, and it comes to responsibility, but if you're not smart enough to understand that a mistake is meant to be made, like a successful person has failed way more than an unsuccessful person, they just continue going and they learn from the mistakes and they don't make the mistakes over and over again. Like, that is what makes profitable traders, because we make mistakes. We're always going to be doing mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. But it's simply about being able to come back from those mistakes and not make them again. That's what most traders fail to understand, and they don't do it. Why? Because it's hard to admit that you made a mistake. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
when you admit that you made a mistake, you're basically saying, "Oh, I am not good enough as I am right now." But guess what? If you are unprofitable, you are not good enough as you have to be to become a profitable trader. So you just have to learn more, right? And I feel
Yeah.
and I feel like, Zamco, that's exactly what you saw. Is as soon as you started taking accountability, like everything flipped, because like, oh wait, I was doing this all the time. What about I just stop doing that? It's like, it's so simple, yet it's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So, and I have to compliment what like Zamco went through, because 6 years of not being profitable, there are very little people that will go through a whole 6 years of not making money and keep trading. And that's something like, that's an effort that like you have to acknowledge. It's very, very important. So like to the viewers, if you've been trading for 1 or 2 years or 3 years and you think that you are not making money, I mean, he made it after even 6 years of losing money. Like, there's no point of you just giving up halfway just because you've not been profitable. Like, everyone has their own, let's say, path of being profitable. I can be profitable in maybe 2 years. Someone else can be profitable in 4 years. Is actually up to the individual effort and how you are learning from your mistakes as well. And when you are talking about learning from mistakes, I did the same thing. Like at the beginning, I remember most of the time I go through a losing streak is because I try trading pullbacks where I see price selling massively and I'm not patient about enough to wait for, let's say, new structure. I just try to buy anytime I see, let's say, green candle, I buy and price just drop, green candle, I buy and price drop. So you just end up like losing 3 to 4%, even hitting your daily drawdown just in one day because you are trying to get this setup while you are not getting the setup. But right now, I don't make those mistakes again. Why? Because I've learned from them that, if price is selling and you didn't catch, just go and enjoy your day. Wait, next time, come and get a new setup, get a new structure to trade, because there's no point of you trying to catch a setup. Like, it's not a must for you to even get trade every single day, by the way. So it's important to learn from mistakes. If you see you don't make money trading pullbacks, don't trade pullbacks. If you have just one trading model that you have like proven data that works, just keep going with it, right? Just keep going with it. You don't need to trade everything. If you see breaker blocks entries works for you better, just trade them. If you see other blocks doesn't work, just don't trade it. Just trade one works, and that's what trading actually taught me as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's what we've talked about. It's everyone feels like they have to trade all the time, and it takes to what Zamco said, it takes to what I said, it takes to what you said. Like a lot of people are like, okay, I'm break even right now. I'm a break even trader right now. What can I do to become profitable? Stop doing stupid mistakes. That's literally what the difference between a break even trader and a profitable trader. It's not doing as many stupid mistakes, because a profitable trader still does mistakes.
Yeah.
But a profitable trader learns from them. An unprofitable trader continues doing them, and that's why their equity curve is like always up and down, up and down, up and down around break even. It's because you get into a little bit of profit and then boom, there you go. Like there's no more profits, or you get into a little bit of a losing streak and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna risk a little bit more. Boom, you're at break even again. It's just stop doing stupid mistakes, and you'll see that your trading will go from here to here, and now you're profitable. So now it's just scaling up that profitability, right? That is basically it. What are we seeing on NQ? We're moving higher towards the 30-minute fair value gap.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Looks clean. Did you learn from ICT directly or no?
No, I've just always looked at random posts on Instagram and YouTube, random videos. I've even seen some of your videos, and it's like I just take bits and bobs, and I came up finally with my own way of going about things.
Hell
And
yeah.
another thing
that is
that
sick.
changed, that instantly clicked for me, was my first ever payout last year, because for those 6 years I've been trading, I've never really like had the proof of getting money back from the market. So the moment I got that first payout, I was like, whoa, this is real. And I don't know, it's like your mindset just changes. It's like, oh, I can do this now. And then the confidence is insane. And then I don't know, it's a real mindset change the moment you actually have tangible evidence that you can do it. It's like, here's my proof, I can do it. That was the biggest change.
Yeah. And it's so funny you say that, given that one of the things I stand by the most is like when Astus was like, yeah, they're not big payouts. It's like $500, $1,000. I'm like, to me, there's no small payouts. Like obviously there's big payouts, but to me, there's no small payouts.
I can comment on that. Yeah, because like
You can
I had some
you can take a
students where like
$30
No,
payout.
he's talking.
Go.
As I'm saying, I have like some students where like they get a live account, they make like $500 to $1,000, and I tell them like, yo, stop trading, wait for a payout. And 2 days later, the person comes to me and be like, he has blown his account. So I had $100 payout myself. Like I've been a mentor. I still like got $100 payout, and I didn't hide it. I shared on my social media. Yes, I did have $100 payout. There's nothing to be ashamed of getting a small payout. It's your performance within a particular time window. That doesn't define your long-term performance. So if you've traded for 1 week and is your payout due, and then that's the amount of money, just wait for the money. Right? Just wait for the payout. There's when I'm saying that I wasn't getting big payout, it's not because I got $500 payout and I'd be like, it's no big payout. What actually happened, I saw myself having, let's say, a 200K funded account, right? And then I end up getting a $1,000 payout. And $1,000 payout, it's a good amount of money. There's nothing to say about. But when you look at the percentage size, there was no reason for me to be making 0.5% on a 200K account, while even my stop loss alone is like, I don't know, 500 to 1,000. It's almost like my stop loss size. So it's like I'm trading a 1 hour or maybe 0.5 hour. But that shouldn't be, because I should have made at least 1, 2 to 3% per payout. So that is what I was seeing, that I wasn't holding my trades enough. But if you make 1,000 on a 50K, that's 2%. Is more than enough for a payout. Even if you make 500, that's like 1% on a 50K. That's like enough for a payout. Is really, really important on that side. But there's nothing such as small payout. Probably small percentage, but small payout. But again, even if market is ranging,
Yeah.
you can still manage to get 0.25% payout just because the market just didn't give you enough opportunity to make money.
Yeah, and for me, it's a lot of people would probably look at the 100K payout and think that it's amazing. Of course, it is amazing, but
Yeah.
what if, like, for the people in the chat, if you get a $1,000 payout, like, how much would that change your life? Not just because of the money, but of what it means. Like a $1,000 payout literally means you got $1,000 from the market that you made from the market into your bank account. While the account is in the prop firm or it's in your broker, it's still not yours. You can't do anything with it. It's just play money. Once it's in your bank account, I can tell you today I received a payout. Once it was in my bank account, I'm like, oh, okay. So now whatever I want to buy, it's literally going to come from this money, right? It's real. So a lot of people look at that small payout and they think, oh, it's not worth it. It's worth it. Every payout is worth it. I don't care if it was $50, $100, $1,000, $100,000. Like it can literally change your trading, just like it did to Zamco, which was proof of concept. Like that's what matters. I got money from the market into my bank account.
Oh.
There's nothing better than first payouts. So let's see if we get some trades. Are we at the 30-minute? Oh, that looks very good.
We just missed it. We just missed the 30-minute.
Yeah.
But we've inversed this fair value gap now.
Yeah.
Might be able to take shorts. I'm not a fan of NASDAQ in this month.
At the 4-hour order block too.
There we go. Tapped in, rejecting. Just taking it down to this low here. Was just waiting for a good confirmation, and finally we had it inverse close below. So yeah, that's why. That's another model I sometimes trade, the inversion fair value gap model, but only on market open on NASDAQ.
Inverted fair value gaps are amazing. I love them.
Yeah, they're really cool. I like them.
Especially on the higher time frame. Oh my, those crush on the higher time frame.
Really, I've noticed it works better on lower time frames. Not really. No, I know what you mean.
More of them. You get more of them. So I remember one of my biggest trades last year was a euro-dollar long, because we were at the high value area. Then we inverted on the daily, and I just waited for the market to pull back to that fair value gap, and then the market just went higher, like crushed higher. So yeah, let's see how this goes. And that looks beautiful though. Like all the time frames look beautiful there.
My only annoying thing is it didn't tap the 30-minute fair value gap. So
yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, there's always the chance of the market moving higher.
Yeah, exactly. That's why this isn't the best setup for me.
And I think what you just said is really good, because I want people from the chat to understand that just because a trade has a negative doesn't mean that it should not be taken. Because at the end of the day, every single trade you take are going to be positive. There's going to be positives and negatives. And I can tell you for a fact that most people that just focus on the positives of the trades, when they take the loss, they become very emotional. Why? Because you've created this expectation that it's going to be a win.
Yeah.
No, there's it's going to be a win. There's only reasons as to why this is going to be a win. And so when it's a loss, you're like, what? No, this is supposed to be a win. And you're like, yeah, no, there's always negatives to a trade. So if you understand that there's always going to be negatives to a trade, you'll see that that's going to be a big click in your guys' brain in the chat of trading psychology, especially trading psychology, because then you start accepting short losses before you take the loss. So
yeah, perfect. I absolutely agree. Because if this hits stop loss and it comes up to just 30-minute, then I already planned that. I already knew that, okay, there is that 30-minute.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, that's probably why. And I'm fine with that. But on the off chance that it works in my favor, then great. If not, then I'd accept the loss because I'm happy with that risk.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all risk to reward. It's very, very simple. There's risk, there's reward. There's no risk with no reward. So there's no reward with no risk. That's what I meant. So let's see. It will change everything for me because I traded for 5 years and now I'm a break-even trader. One payout will generally change my trading. Exactly. It's like it's the proof of concept that changes people's life. It unlocks something in their brain of like, oh fuck. Sorry for this. I don't even know if I can swear. Probably not. But it really flicks the switch in people's minds. That's why, like, completely will change my life. It's 2 months of salary. Half of that I will use for my personal capital. I don't know. I wouldn't do that, to be honest. I'll just keep trading props. $1,000 is like a monthly salary for a lot of people. Exactly, monthly salary. So imagine you can do that with one trade. Like if you've done that with one trade, why not just lock in the payout? It's like that's it.
Yeah.
So
that's also one thing about trading personal account or prop firm. If you have 100,000 real account, right? And if you go through a losing streak, and as when you are risking 1%, you go through a losing streak, you can lose a crazy amount of money. You can lose 10,000, 20,000 on a losing streak because you are risking 1%. But if you have a profit account, a losing streak is only going to cost you the challenge fee because you are just going to lose one account. So you're literally going to lose maybe $500 after losing 10 trades because you are risking 1%. But trading personal account, you're going to lose a lot of money. So there's a lot of like ROI and less risk involved when you are trading prop firm than trading personal account. And to me, as far as like prop firm exists, like I have no reason to really like trade personal account. I pay maybe someday just for fun, but the real money is always going to come from trading prop firm. Unless if there's some company out there that maybe wants to give me a big capital to trade with, like their own real equity capital. But if that's not the case, like there is no shot to be putting like a huge amount of money off my own capital, you know?
Oh, this is not looking good.
yeah. Like from my experience, investor capital is always more stressful. Like, it's just not worth it at all.
You'll always trade with emotion and you'll not be okay anytime you take a setup. You'll always be stressed because it's not your money.
Yeah,
it's not your money. You're going to be stressed. And prop firm, you're stress free. I mean, it's your own money you put. It's not like if you lose a trade, the prop firm is going to complain of you losing a trade. So
they'll be happy if you lose a trade. Yeah. Good, perfect. That's like they want you to lose. They'll be happy when you lose.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what you want. So you have literally no pressure.
Yes.
So, like with investors, you just get like 20% of your profits. That is insane to me. Like now, prop firms have fully changed the game.
Yeah.
Fully changed the game. That's why. Like I'm personally sticking with props. I've had people offering me great money.
Yeah.
But then when I talk with them, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's like half of my savings," and I'm like, and we're talking like 6 figures, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna trade half
You're
of your
saving.
money because then if I take a losing trade, you're gonna be like, bro, why have I just lost 0.5% of my net worth?" And I'm like, "The fuck do you mean? I just took a trade, and it didn't work out. That's it." But with props, if you are trading their money, it's basically no money.
Yeah.
for them because they're so profitable. And if you are, then even better for you. So yeah. All the time. Someone is asking, Zamco, how many trades on average do you take a month, and what is your daily stop limit for the day?
Oof, okay. It depends how I feel. Sometimes I keep trading until I hit my daily drawdown. Sometimes, if the trade is good, I would only take one trade in a day. On average, I would say 4 trades a week, like good setups. But other than that, if it's okay, if they're losses, I get more trades because I just enter again and again until I reach my daily drawdown. But if they're a good winning trade, then like a good setup, and I'm in the trade for a while, then probably around 4 to 5 trades a week. So around 20 to 30 trades a month.
Yeah.
Damn, we are tanking.
Yeah, that's very similar to my data. I limit myself to 2 daily losses. But if I'm on a challenge, just like you, I just go for the daily target, daily drawdown. And then obviously before the daily drawdown, I don't want to lose the account. But yeah, it's a different game with props. So let's go. That is beautiful. Do you have a video made on what days to trade and what not to? It's don't trade before CPI, don't trade before NFP, don't trade before FOMC.
CPI.
Don't trade names.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
There you go. See, basically, let's explain a little bit in terms of psychology what happened in this trade, because a lot of people think trading psychology is their problem. Zamco entered, and he said 30-minute fair value gap was not tapped, so this trade could be a loss. And if it goes there, and then it moves lower, I will enter again. Trade went into what? Like that's like 70% drawdown. And he was like, oh, okay, it's not looking great. It reversed. And he's like, great. That's it.
Literally.
That's what trading is. Trading is not a emotional roller coaster of like, oh, fuck, why is it pulling back? Like, he didn't move to break even. He didn't like think, oh, fuck, I'm going to close my trade now. No. Stuck with the trade, stuck with the bias, took the take profit. I think it's pretty refreshing to see someone just, yeah, it is what it is.
This thing is not.
What do you think, Zamco?
Yeah, that's absolutely how you have to be. Honestly, now my younger brother started trading as well. He's been trading DAX with me, and we both know just take the setups. And whenever we lose in the morning on London Open, we're just like, just come back tomorrow. We'll probably find another setup. It's like we don't really care. And if we blow an account, it's like, all right, we'll just buy another one, start again tomorrow. It's just nonchalant, just repeat the same thing. We know the system works, just keep repeating it again and again. Whether the wins or the losses, we know long term it's going to work out. So just it doesn't really matter. The short term really don't care about it. Long term it's going to work, most likely.
Hell yeah. So we'll leave it with that. Astus, you want to say anything about the trade or the overall what happened or no?
Can you check the what's the name? The EU breakdown I gave. Actually, I don't trade EU again, but actually today I'm not actually gonna trade today. I have a payout due with funding pips tomorrow, so I'm definitely gonna resume trading on Wednesday. So that's like my plan right now. So anything right now just for knowledge purposes. But if you look at EU, right, go to EU for a minute.
Yep.
And check out like the 5 minute time frame.
5 minute time frame.
Yeah. So we have that liquidity sweep to the downside, like that.
Yep.
And then we have the fair value gap on to the upside for a sell setup. Exactly. Yep. So my idea was like you buy from price gave a pullback down there, so there was a buy there, and you target that fair value gap as a TP. But what's happening here is that price didn't hit TP yet, it's been like 80% TP and then it pulls back, 80% TP pulls back. Exactly. And this messes up with a lot of people's psychology. If you had to look at this, anytime price give a pullback down, you're like, it's going to hit stop loss. And then exactly. So when you get into this situation, what like me, I deal with this. I just said my alert, as I said, whatever price does, I'm not looking at the chart, right? I'm not looking at the chart. If it hit TP, the TP. If it hit the stop loss, it's the stop loss. But whatever happened in between, I'm not looking until I just know the final outcome. So it's a way you can like work with your emotion. There've been a lot of people, if you had a sell, or let's say a buy in this case, there might be a lot of people that may have closed their position already just because they're seeing price just doing something that they are not expecting. I don't know if you guys understand the point I'm trying to make here. At that liquidity grab there, the line you put there, that's exactly like a buy entry right there, and then a TP at pretty much like the fair value gap. And that's a pullback trade, by the way, which I don't really trade unless if I have a higher time frame TP. I don't really take it if it's not a higher time frame TP.
I get what you mean. Definitely, I've learned over time that a lot of the times when like trades are like consolidating or it's pulling back, a lot of people either go break even very quickly and then it hits their break even, then the trade goes in their direction. And that can be so frustrating. So what I tend to do, I have my stop loss, I have my TP. Most of the times I don't make a break even, I just let it play out. I don't care what it does. And a lot of people, they're actually not okay with the stop loss being hit because they get annoyed by it and you know they get really fearful, and that's because you haven't accepted the risk when you take the trade. So when I take the trade, I am absolutely happy. It can take a loss and I'll probably just laugh. I'll be like, oh, whatever. Like I will just laugh it off because I really don't care and I've accepted the risk. So you're right. Like a lot of times price can be consolidating and people are getting so emotional because they haven't actually accepted the loss. Like if it hits the stop loss, whatever, who cares? It's like that's part of the game. So I get what you mean.
Yeah, that's crazy consolidation.
Yeah, it's crazy consolidation. But Kimmel, if you're ever in London and you Astrus, like let me know. Could do something. That'd be cool.
Sure. London is like 6 a.m. I mostly miss London session because it's too early. It's like 6 a.m. So sometimes when I wake up 7 or 8, I just miss out on London session. So I trade like halfway London to New York. But New York is the one that you have like those crazy moves always. So New York, yeah. So London sometimes is just not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at these candles, look at the size of all of these candles before New York Open, and then this is New York Open, like New York Stock Exchange Open. So you can just see like two of these candles is worth like all of this. It just makes sense to just wait for this time to be trading. And that's that.
Yeah, exactly.
And now,
Same thing with
when you're
DAX.
talking about timing, you see how this thing moves so quickly because New York Open, but you look at EU didn't do anything despite the timing. So you just
That's
never
the
know
issue.
when you're
Exactly.
going to hit
Currencies.
you just never
association.
know. You just never know when it's going to hit TP. Probably,
Yeah.
I don't know if gold has moved. Yeah, gold is selling to the H1 demand below. So that that was expected, but gold can move at New York, but currency is something you can't expect anything much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this was a very good stream. Very nice win. Beautiful. A lot of amazing lessons. Thank you, Zamco. Thank you, S2C, for being here. It was great talking with you. And we'll see ourselves in the next one. So, gentlemen, thank you all. Hope you took some value from this.
Yeah, man.
Big thank you to everyone that participated in the live stream. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Yeah, man. Take care. Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.